bomb now put into pandemonium. Because that bomb being denied, it allows a pathway for Rops to come into this round. They're trying to hunt Rain down, and that's when Rops backstabs Mir. 4 versus 3. They have no kits. VP, can they play the time? A kill like that will most certainly help them. Norbert doubles down.
Бимба стоит.
Finally claims his revenge. And now,
2 на 2.
dust settles, James
Будут пробовать выбивать.
There's no util, there's no kit for FaZe. They can't deal with James. And if Flip takes his contact and survives, no, he dies. And Twist, what? This retake, it looks so difficult.
Мощно прикрыли друг друга. Очень мощно.
They break through and they find
Удивительная хуйня.
That's so difficult. That is such a claustrophobic retake that comes in for FaZe. It feels like one of those gunfights has to be a resounding success here. And Carrigan, he had a kit right in the corner, which is why FaZe slow the play down.
Последний раунд.
Make sure it's 3, 2, 1. Let's swing together. What a shot here out of Brokey. Under pressure.
А может быть нет.
Virtus Pro nearly. But it doesn't quite cut it. FaZe, we said how important it was to win Ancient. Their map pick.
Но экономика, блядь, закупились по максимуму. Контрол гораздо лучше.
Norbert had such a great round the last, but unfortunately it's simply just not enough. Flick couldn't be the one.
А там лагает, потому что я, короче, спалил вот эту вот хуйню, URL трансляции, и кто-то дудосит, когда я начинаю стримить. Ну, другого объяснения просто нет. Это вот эту вот хуйню спалил.
And he might have to be, but Mir right now, taking some contact towards middle. Twist, he couldn't have fallen there. The Tech Nines, they've been so good, and now a crunch attempted to come from middle. Rops does get one, baits in for Brokey, and it's shattering for Virtus Pro.
Неужели?
Yeah, really nicely done there. I feel like Brokey has to get aggressive. Sorry, Rops has to get aggressive because Brokey is holding him. However, with that kill found on Carrigan, things start to get awkward, but Rain anticipates that Flick could be pushing.
Но 1-3 чисто теоретически может выебать. ГГ. Ну чё, следующую можно на Вантус пролить. Я надеюсь, не 2-0. Это пик Фуизов был. Фейс 2-1.
And especially with Mir getting this opener, I thought it was all it, but a lovely bait and switch from Rops and Brokey. They had to hit their shots, and they do.
Good anticipation as well from Rain. The fact he gets that kill on towards Flip denies space for Virtus Pro out towards CT. That really is everything. But we saw moments of brilliance there from Virtus Pro. They were throwing up a lot of question marks in towards the FaZe offense as well. I was really impressed with how they broke that one down. And I'm also really interested to see what the desk has for us. Sam, what did you think of that map?
Блядь, ну... Да какой закроет? 2-0, думаешь, закроет, блядь? Такой интересный ты. Думаю. Yeah.
Just their ability to stay in rounds. The individuals are so good at taking their own initiative, and FaZe are really good at making plans on the fly and kind of, thriving in the chaos that are these super close games, especially on a map like Ancient that comes down to so many afterplants. That was a brilliant map for Counter-Strike. I'm sure that's the highest.
Не знаю, либо ловите коэффициентик, либо ловить коэффициентик на Вантус Про. Но так как они пикнули, какая у них там сторона будет?
Somewhat stronger than FaZe in a lot of instances. I know the cast is mentioned as well, especially in those mid-round plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough to call, isn't it? I mean, the way I saw that game was VP, it was kind of some of the repeat of what we've seen from them in the previous instances in this tournament. There's just a few mistakes that creep in. You see Norbert getting that knife kill there. It's actually the second knife kill they've had in the pistol round in this tournament.
8-5, ну им надо стату подтягивать стату.
But yeah, they were pretty solid, but for those few mistakes, and in the end, those mistakes are enough to make the difference in this game. And again, an afterplant in that second half too has come back to haunt them and made the difference overall. But as Alan said, I completely agree. The quality of this game, there's a reason why we're calling these two possibly the best in CS2 at the moment. There's a reason VP won Rubet recently. There's a reason FaZe are unbeaten since the BO1 in Sydney. It was absolute quality.
Alan, were you expecting the scoreline to be this close?
Yes. I probably actually would have guessed this sort of scoreline in favour of FaZe, but the way it played out was a little bit surprising. I thought Twist was magnificent in that first half. Twist is the mid defaulter, and on this map you get a lot of space to make decisions and take space when you want to, and you know, call around yourself essentially outside of the realms of what you know. Twist has room to do what he wants outside of what Karrigan is calling overall, and he made such good.
Нет сильнее зверя, Вантус.Про вперед к победе.
I think came off the back of that mid control, and Twist was brilliant, and yeah.
Да что залил на Вантус.Про.
But they'll take it, those afterplants. I'm not sure they're winning them many times out of 10, but somehow they pulled them off and got this map over the line.
What were some of the decisive rounds for you, those moments where you saw the game starting to tilt in either direction, Alan?
Well, in the first half was definitely the low buy rounds. I'm quite convinced it would have been quite dominant scoreline actually for Virtus.Pro had they not lost those rounds, because it just did so much economic damage and so hard to stay in the game. And then yeah, towards the end, had they won that 2-on-2 on the B-bomb site, I think they win the map. I think the money would have been so bad for FaZe. So yeah, every 50-50 scenario in this map seemingly went the way of FaZe, and it has to be said, we said it going into the series that you know, in other matchups, Virtus.Pro are going to win a lot of those. But here against FaZe, the quality of players with their communication and their chemistry together, FaZe are going to win more of these unlikely rounds, and that is something Virtus.Pro has to deal with now going forward in this series.
Kev, how about you? Any specific moments that you'd want to deep dive into?
I mean, that is the round. Really, it does come down to that round. Like, it's the swing round with the economy, where it puts either one onto an eco or the other. And yeah, it was actually so painful, because I thought once VP got to that even standpoint that they were actually going to push through and take this. But it's the FaZe star power, the numbers from Twist, the amount of time Rain just owns certain positions, just goes for a big wide swing and wins his duel, owns Jaguar. He's played that position so long and is so good at it. And yeah, I think even the moments with Rops too, there was a couple of instances where he just got 2 kills out of nowhere. I think there was at one point as well where VP had mid control and they were trying to sort of split in toward Donut. They thought they could overwhelm Rops, who had already taken some presence and they'd shown his position there. Thought they could overwhelm him, but they had Brokey and Donut too. Brokey and Rops backing each other up, and that's happened so many times for FaZe in Go as well in that position. They're just so good at it, and yeah, the star power really won out in the end. But VP have their own star power. Flip was superb, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that on map 2, because I really think we do have a decider on our hands coming up.
Here's the thing, we now move on to Vertigo. Historically, what we've seen so far in this competition from FaZe, it's not going to be pretty. What do you think Virtus.Pro can take from this particular map loss, Alan, and potentially change now moving into Vertigo?
I think James called an excellent T side. I think if you actually think back and think about the rounds where they actually, you know, lost on the T side, it was, you know, they lost pistol, which is fair enough. There's a lot of jeopardy in those sort of rounds, but it's after plants. It wasn't like James was putting them into a bad position. I thought he called a phenomenal T side, and the mid rounding was absolutely fantastic. So, you know, Virtus.Pro might have lost on Ancient, but they still played a lot of good CS. They lost both pistols, remember, and it was still a very close game. And now going into Vertigo, they're much more well-versed than FaZe is. There's a comfortable map for them. Flit is X on this map over towards A. So, I'll be honest, Sam, they might have lost the first map, but I don't see why they wouldn't be confident in their Counter-Strike still in this series.
Pep, that's my thing. I kind of feel like FaZe knows what's coming on this Vertigo pick. I mean, surely especially after what they've just been through with VP, they must realize that they have, I don't even say they have a mountain to climb, because I think it's bigger than any mountain.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is they've had success on it previously, but not in this tournament. And as you say, it's usually one of their bans, so it's not one they really are confident in. And we've seen that in this tournament. Mouse, I think it's fair to say, play a very different style to VP, so I think it's going to be different for them to hold. But I still think, in terms of history and previous results, previous reps, FaZe have a lot less on Vertigo than VP and Mouse did. So that is the reason why we think it's going to be an Anubis decider. So I think if we do get an Anubis decider, that will be one I'm licking my lips for, because I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, I do think actually the complexion of this series is very different to if FaZe lost Ancient. If FaZe lost Ancient and now they have to stay in the series, we'd be sat here
And they
crying.
usually start
We'd be
slow.
looking at this thinking, this is a nightmare. But it's a very different scenario. now. They
Третья,
did clean up
третья
action,
будет
And now Vertigo is a
Anubis.
freebie. Nobody is looking at this and saying they're coming into this as
За
favourites.
Vantus
They clearly went into this veto saying Overpass is so dreadful for us. We're going to go for Vertigo. So there's no reason for them to play with full confidence here. They might as well throw caution to the wind because we just know if they play their standard CS, it probably wouldn't go brilliantly for them.
I mean, if FaZe had lost Ancient, the questioning would have been along the lines of, is FaZe insert a bunch of inappropriate swear words here? Because that's what would have potentially been the case, but not the case now. They've obviously won their map pick, so I'm curious. And Alan, you touched on this a little bit with Virtus Pro, but let's do both of them. What are the win conditions for FaZe on Vertigo? What would be the win conditions for Virtus Pro?
Certainly for FaZe would be kind of just disrupting whatever game plan Virtus Pro comes in with. I assume on their T side it'd be a lot of slow rounds towards A and map control and trying to mid round and outplay. But I think if FaZe play a very aggressive CT side, it'd be quite prudent. Mid aggression, B aggression, very dynamic counter strike. I would not play slow and steady because I think that really plays into the hands of Virtus Pro here.
Pav, want to jump in on that, or are you in full agreement?
No, I agree. I think also the fact that I've seen
Этот провод на заказ специально. Если что, можно до бункера спуститься и быть в наушниках. У него длина 150 метров.
To VP and try and shock them a little bit. As Alan said, it feels like a little bit of a freebie. They can just have maybe some reckless abandon with it, try and get their stars into play, do something wild, and see if it comes off. Because I think.
Российскую трансуху.
Тут много, как вы видите, и не только в моем
6 минут. 6 минут. Что делать 6 минут? Звездочку чекнуть.
1,7 на фейс. Но я на ВП поставил, ребят. Я на ВП поставил. Я думаю, что Вертига ВП себе залутает все-таки. КФ двоечка, хороший КФ.
Я тоже поставил на Vantus Pro на вторую карту 24 тысячи рублей. На вторую карту 24 тысячи на Vantus Pro.
А чекните по спойлерам. Может быть, у вас там есть инфа? Ребятки, чекните по спойлерам.
Ну, первая фуйс победа. Вторая проеб. С хорошей долей вероятности, вроде как. А третью хотелось бы, чтобы фуль взяли. Мало не КФ. Да, я на ТБ поставил. Я заланил на ТБ. Я в Counter-Strike, блядь, что-то как-то нихуя не ловлю. Западло, бля. Да какой я на карту поставил, блядь? Вторая карта. Тупо победа Vantus Pro. Нет. ТБ уже сыграла. Русофобы пишут там 2-0, 2-0, блядь. Вот на Анубисе можно на ТБ будет поставить. Либо даже на допы. Допы семерочка. Вторая карта Vantus Pro 24 тысячи поставили. Ну да. Не ставь на ВП. Да идите в жопу, блядь. Я вас уже послушал. 2 миллиона проебал. Слушать чат это и ся не уважать и в жопу ебать ся же, блядь. Я, наверное, самый пострадавший стример, который дослушался, блядь, чатика, сука, ебаного. Что он проиграл 2 миллиона? Продал ставку, блядь, по завету чатика. По факту 2 года отсутствия контента. По факту ничего не проиграл. Да-да-да, все равно все слил бы. Да-да-да-да.
Esports has evolved at an unbelievable pace. And so have the tools that players need to perform at their best. Gaming mice have evolved more in the last 3 years than in the previous decade. Xtrify was born from esports. Since day one, we've been working hard to help
Это
gamers
специальная мышка с вентиляцией.
questioning the standards, doing things our way, to create the new generation of esports equipment. Sometimes details change everything. Change the way
Я
we
не
see
ставил. Мне просто сказали, попросили, блядь, постримить это,
the game.
посмотреть. ЕГЭ. Honda 14. 600 тысяч долларов.
So far, this series is
А
going
на
as
кике
we
меня
expect.
дудосит.
FaZe, they
Вон
win
я
that
ключ
match
спалил.
on Ancient, but now
Вот
pressure is
этот.
most certainly on
И
them.
когда
Both
запускаю
Fox and
трансляцию,
Twist,
у
can
меня
they
там
continue
потери
their
кадров,
form
вся
from
хуйня.
Ancient onto Vertigo? And
Типа,
from
ну
what I saw
никогда
against
такого не
Mouse,
было,
if
пока
they
я
get
не
picked
спалил эту
apart
хуйню.
on that city side towards mid and B again, it could be quite difficult in the early stages.
I think it's a really interesting sort of game and map coming into this because we've spoken a lot about VP's strengths, but I think recently the games they've been winning, sure, some of them will look pretty dominant, but they've had chances that they could have really dropped the ball. I think back to the game against Heroic earlier on in the tournament in the playoffs run, where
У него еще и септим в носу, да, у него проколотый нос. Сука, он фрикует вне стримов. Типа как Влад Савельев. Стопудово шабол трассовых вызывает там.
You kind of compare and contrast the individuals that Heroic have currently got on their roster compared to FaZe. You think on paper, sure, if FaZe just play the fundamentals correctly, maybe they've got a really good chance here. And also, I don't think that VP are going to play this really accelerated, explosive style of Counter-Strike. And as long as Carrigan can kind of manipulate FaZe into thinking, look, we just did well on CT side of Ancient. We didn't get baited too much into James calls. So if they don't really overstep the mark,
Сколько пиздит, знает что-то про игроков. Может, инсайды какие-нибудь даже выдает, как Валет.
Yes,
Валет инсайдики любил заливать об игроках.
Yes, they lost against Monty yesterday, but if they can remove that blip, it should still be going in their favor. But I think they're going to settle for Vertigo. FaZe, this 7-map veto.
А у чела справа похож ебальник, как в Хаггард Легаси, блядь. Такие же ебасосы, сука, этого.
If all people to pick it up, it was Norbert.
I think on Ancient as well.
Давайте Virtus.pro и нагните, как вы можете, блядь. Я вот эту игру, эту карту сегодня играл.
A ramp, and we're going to see this a lot on Vertigo. But I would like to see
А, нет, не
more
сегодня,
space being
вчера.
taken over towards mid. I'd like to see them contest that a lot
Одно
earlier
ебало просто,
to
если
keep
снесете, и
FaZe
все
guessing,
хорошо будет.
because otherwise you can kind of go into this
Спалил.
monotony of A
Заорал,
rounds to
наверное,
A
орет
round.
там. Они
As the round
идут,
starts
они
off,
идут.
Rain gets all the contacts, and immediately VP scale.
Yeah, you were speaking about a ramp, and here we go. Good util clearing out sandbags and a smoke on the left side of the site.
Нет медведя сильнее зверя, Вантус Про вперед к победе. Одного потеряли тупо.
Take a very aggressive fight with a Molotov towards Headshot or Heaven, and now Util comes in. They're gonna be trying to take these fights onto the players behind these smokes, but instead they're just gonna get the bomb down. They've already suffered a loss with Norbit dying, and now
Как
what
так-то?
is gonna be like? Mir unfortunately could not escape, but speaking about escaping, Flit will.
Давай, блядь, гаси говно, блядь.
Felt like he was dead. They trapped him.
Вантус Про, блядь.
But he excels back against the wall, and he does not miss.
О, кружит гондоны, блядь. Кружит.
1 versus 3, no kit, time is ticking. He drops.
Они просто запутали его так. Чик, чик, чик,
What a
чик.
round from Flit, and you're right, they had him dead to rights, over in the corner, and yet what does he do? He just fights his way out of it, and he keeps moving, tries to group with his teammates. That second shot is just absolutely despicable from Flit, and the fact he finds a 4K, it's the cherry on top. Virtus Pro, they fight from within the bomb site, they get trapped within it.
Блять, слушайте, кто за фуйс будет топить тут, блять? Я сейчас все сделаю, блять. Покажут, блять, хуекажут, нахуй. Пишите, бля, в топ-чате, не пишите тут у меня в чате, бля. В топ-чате можете пиздеть.
If he's alive and if he's feeling it, that could be very dire for FaZe. He's not the one player you want to excel on the Virtus Pro side. However, he's going to be offered up another frag. Rain.
Ну а там, кстати, если бы прилетело бы, то пизда была бы. Сразу же. Никто с револьверчиками не ходит. Кстати, странно. Вау! Просто гренадеры, блядь. Он не успел поставить бимбу! Козлы, блядь! Расстрел нахуй! 1 на 1. Па-бам, блядь! Умеет стрелять, умеет. Чё полоска так медленно на квартиру собирается? Ну, дожили, блядь, дожили. Нет, я не на ТБ ставил, я ставил на Вантус Про. Тут. На вторую карту. ТБ было уже, оно выиграло. Поэтому и сделал ставку. Правильно? Правильно. Чё они делают? Все заново началось.
Missport maybe, but that buy, if I'm going to continue that train of thought, it was something that VP were doing a lot, and it was something that they have these very invested low buys, but there's always a plan around it. You can see that Twist had no utility, but there was someone, and the names eluded me, but he had a nade and 2 flashbangs, so he was going to use those flashes to try give Twist an advantage, but we still do have a small tech issue, so we are going to be waiting a moment till we get into that third round.
I wonder if the buy comes out again in that manner, or whether it will be a little bit more conservative. You're right, that is probably popular as in the one rifle buy, just trying to offer something into every single one of these rounds. There's actually Rain that crashed, so you imagine Rops will go with the same buy, and it is. So this will be interesting. What are FaZe gonna do here? You spoke about the utility being purchased. I imagine that is to get Rops set up on an angle.
Yeah.
Buddy system. He is immediately going over towards A.
What I'm worried about is not that first kill. It's like what they do after they put Rops in a position to succeed. So like we could go on the train of thought that he's gonna get this first frag, and oh, he doesn't even need the utility. Okay, never mind. That
Какое же было я жердочку не черкнуть. Странный порядок.
He will lose his life, but it's only a Mac 10.
Mastermind in and out the server for Carrigan.
Yeah, not me.
No. Not in the server anyway, Mr. Fred. Fast play. VP up B. Carrigan again.
Яйца ебаные.
Opportunities, and Rain actually finds James. A 4-on-3. VP have got the bomb site. It's up to FaZe to retake it, but they've got good space. Take a look. Rain and Rops are already on the flank.
Yeah, especially Rops. We want to be looking at him. He's got that rifle.
Давай, Вантус-Про, блядь. Хули ты горишь-то, блядь?
Lucky to get away with his life there. 3 versus 3, and the HP tentatively low, being brought down further. Mir on 21. They have to fight their way out of this one. Nade produced, no damage garnered. Norbert funnels them out, and same with Mir. They know that Rops has the rifle towards ramps. They go, even those 2 players towards CT, we're still gonna take the fight to those pistols, and Rops just left isolated. There's nothing he can do here. Damage, and as well the A1S. So Virtus Pro, they win the round, but definitely nowhere near as cleanly as they would have wanted.
Honestly felt like FaZe could have won that round. But I really like it.
I thought they were.
You talked about the fact that they identified Rops was out towards stairs as soon as there was some contact being taken.
Бля, ну вот эта ошибка была лютая. Он перед вообще не посмотрел. Но я рассчитывал, что его кто-то будет прикрывать.
With another trick or two up their sleeve, and immediately as Rops took that contact towards A ramp, they switched intentions straight towards B. They didn't hang around. They just prevented FaZe from getting into the positions early, because that was devastating. What a shot to open up on the ult for James.
Yeah, it's James' first kill so far on Vertigo. He was someone I mentioned. I want to see more consistency out of him, and that's a phenomenal start. Speaking of phenomenal starts, Flit, he has not been missing a beat so far. Finally brought down to justice by Brokey, but now he's in the most uncomfortable situation you could ever be in. If he held his rifle out,
блять, ну вы головы-то свои дурацкие-то, нахуй вы палите-то, головешки-то свои ебаные.
That brings down his reign of desolation. And Virtus Pro, this should be a round they take in their hands.
Good second kill though, because it still asks the question mark.
Как кролики в той самой игре.
In towards giving this a go, and I feel like you have to. I feel like you really need to give this a look in, especially with the damage you did in the previous round.
С помощью биты нужно бить по вытащению выглядывающимся кроликам.
Virtus Pro fall silent. They start to weave the web of uncertainty and doubt into the minds of Twists and Rops, and they wait ever so patient. Deep smokes, you like this, in towards elevator, and the molly in towards
Они как-то медленно продвигаются. Ну типа 3 высекли, 2 ясен хуй где-то в пизде будут. Ну ты долбоёб! Блять, господи, какие же они дегенераты. Давай, 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 блять! За пацанов, блять. Так он диффузит!
4 seconds left. Norbert starts to spam, sees Rob's hand. The 1 versus 2 clutched up for Norbert.
That's really awkward. Fair play to Rops, because in that situation, you don't expect.
Это им повезло, что один свапнул пушку, блядь, и сдох в прыжке, а другой бимбу закладывал.
He's going to take the fight on towards Norbert. Instead, tries to call the bluff. It doesn't pan out. Carrigan on the mic, probably alongside Neo. First time out called by FaZe.
Yeah, this is when you have someone like Neo, who I think it was what Sam said on the dash. He was like, it's rare to have a coach who is much.
Так, фузы, соберитесь, вам еще 3-ю надо будет брать, если что. Ну, эту сейчас, понятное дело, сосните, сосните по-быстрому.
Brokey shelves you out of it a little bit, and that round should never have been that close for FaZe. They make it that close. Now, where can they build upon this? So it's going to start with a hero rifle buy from Rops.
I think another thing we
О, подорвались, чуваки. Просто минус 50 хп, блядь.
was so damn impeccable on Ancient. He was providing a lot of
So
impact.
good.
On CT side, he plays B.
А!
So how much
Единственный...
impact is really gonna be
Блядь,
felt
ну
here,
ты сейчас
especially in the
сдохнешь
first
же.
half? Good
What
thing.
was interesting is if we... Ooh, okay,
Была бы
never mind, I was
немножко
gonna say
помощи,
Norbit's
просто
MP
немножко
dart, but
помощи.
hey, these pistols, they're singing! James gets dinked through the scaffolding.
Блядь, эти в
But
меньшинстве,
luckily enough for him,
сукоеды.
does survive. Fame and
Спина
James
ебаная ты,
catches
блядь!
off the one high-G player.
Что же ж за
Living
кусок
an
говна?
eight-kill
Он
pocket.
просто
This
не
is tough
палит,
to
блядь,
Pandemonium,
спину.
but Fame will release the pressure a little bit because Brandon, look at the HP, not only for Verse Pro, but also for Fame.
Почему они не смотрят?
Again, it's going to be another one of these situations where you're waiting. It's going to be a stalemate on the server, and someone has to make the next move. And right now, it has to be Virtus Pro. The pressure's on them.
Ну там, блядь, у одного 50 хп у этого, блядь, было по дефолту, блядь.
The idea. If you go A, we'll give it a go. If you go B, we'll think about the retake. Right now, they're in the best possible spot.
Did VP even go towards
Ну
it?
да, я бы на
It
их
feels like
месте.
with 30 seconds, they're gonna have to. Good kill onto Rob's.
Ой,
Fame
блядь.
brought down even lower.
Лучше на
Walking
другую
on a
точку
thread
бежать.
of life. Him and
Хотя, ну
James,
они...
33 HP combined.
Не, если одного еще
Gonna
высекут.
be walking into this Brokey, forced away. He can't see it in that Molotov. Plays behind it. He hasn't revealed himself yet.
Так!
Looking the wrong way.
Вон
As
тут
Twist
про,
falls,
просто,
Fame into
блядь.
Brokey.
Переиграли!
The face, because Brokey gets pushed back by the molly. Immediately he has to say, I'm mollied off, I can't see short. That means Twist would have to turn around there.
Start.
Also potentially the issue of the gun barrel protruding around the corner. That's all things to consider. But yeah, again, Virtus Pro, they love this type of round. You
Бам!
want to slow things down, you want to take the sting out of the game. That's exactly
Он
what they do.
нос
Shadow
увидел.
spotted. That is awkward, as we see it on the replay. And now the lightning bolts begin to...
Там можно было бы с ножа просто ёбнуть.
Brokey takes a leg shot. That is not the way FaZe wanted to start the reinvestment.
Yeah, against Mouse, Yimfat was just toying with that B-bomb site. And I think it maybe have left them a little bit unconfident because Twist, he's yet to get a kill so far. Down, Brokey's got that leg shot, so early HP advantage.
На голову. И 60 урона всего. Так-то сдохнуть можно было бы. В играх, ну, Call of Duty ваншотит граната. Чекать, насыпь.
Carrigan removed immediately.
Very unfortunate. Rob's trying to get cheeky with it, going down the ladder, trying to initiate some sort of backstab. Will be unsuccessful.
Боится, смотрите как. Блять, сидел до последнего, терпила, ёбаная. Потопал. Блять, спина ёбаная, блять.
Hot on his heels. He's going to identify no one's towards gap, but now he's being held.
Блять, пацаны, о, пиздец. Как же они разыгрывают. Бля, сейчас увидит. Там ж бимба была, или чё? Ёб твою мать. Да возьми оружие, блядь! Долбоёбина, блядь, просто дегенерат, блядь, дегенерат. Он, кстати, мог его застрелить сам. Они вот, пидорасы, не чекнули вот этого. Вот это вот. Да какой... Он мог застрелить, времени мало. Он мог застрелить, блядь. А он бежал с бомбой, нахуй, в руках. Ему надо было готовиться как раз таки встретить врага, блядь. А он с бомбой бежал. Так его чел встретил. Его встретил, блядь. Короче, они тут две ошибки совершили. Пропустили пидора того. И свап оружия.
clinch up their first round and Twist on the board in a very impactful way. Will
А,
Twist
они
continue
чё, блядь,
will he
без
dance
экономики,
into the
ёб
sales?
твою мать, блядь, они
Fair
вон.
play to
Они без
Virtus Pro
экономики
actually
вообще.
holding, Rops's play down
Ну
low.
ладно,
Pro
давай,
doing that a lot,
1-13,
and their
блядь.
CT side was sure
В
she's
школу
catching
не
them off
пойдем.
a lot. So they've learned from lessons immediately on the
Лен
path
больше
towards
знает,
this grand
правильно?
final.
Слушай, логически, я уверен,
To catch them out,
если
bait switching
набрать
into
вот
a
этому
Brokey,
чуваку,
Harrigan up close
что,
with
тот,
the
что с
M9.
динамитом
Harrigan should be
бежал,
aware that there was
он
that
скажет,
one
да,
positive
ебал
play.
я
Brokey
себя в
finds off a
очко,
shot,
блядь.
and actually, it's the Glock to ring out first. That's awkward. And now Brokey's under pressure as well. You need to get out, and he can't do it.
Нихуя
They
себе
found
они
the
тут.
Glock.
The
Они
Glock's doing
просто,
right.
блядь,
Virtus Pro, they can
Гром
pick
в
up a
дом.
rifle, they can pick up an AWP. AWP will go into the hands of Jame, you'd anticipate. And look at the rotations. Twist is so scared of that B bomb site. He's still planting his feet there. And is only
Бок,
gonna start
бок,
moving
бок!
now as Virtus Pro do unleash their utility rain. I love
Спалил,
this
сказал.
aggression. He's gonna try catch them off guard with utility, but instead, the flashbangs, they are
Сука,
just
блядь, уже от безысходности стреляет.
a third with the
Лишь бы
Glock.
на
Never
курок
anticipated
нажать.
that. And he has just single-handedly won it for his squad on the weapon you start with, up against an AWP and two A1Ss.
This is a disaster. This is a
Wow!
errors for FaZe. Completely falling apart. Sure, you got the bait and switch, but as soon as Brokey misses one shot, his time is done. Gotta
Я
go
не
on
знаю,
the
они с
confidence
пистолетами
well.
не
Flash
потеряли
back
ни
fire,
одного.
scaling on towards the bomb site because it completely eliminates the players of FaZe out of the game. I think it was Brokey initially that one of these players wanted to jump up on top of a headshot and swing in tandem with Rain, and they couldn't do it. The flashbanger Jame blinded both.
Бля, может я погорячился, что победа Фуйзов поставил. Что Фуйзы 2-1 выиграют. Может это было на Вантус.Про, на них 4-3 было, блядь. На 2-1. Ну ладно. Смотрим. Это все же Counter-Strike. Неведомая хуйня. Бля, желудок начинает болеть. Пойду фосфолюгели выпью.
Yeah, it's not even close, and it's not like these rounds have really been that competitive either. There's been only a couple of instances in which it feels like FaZe have got a chance. And now you've got a different dynamic coming out of Virtus Pro. Everyone is very silent. Everyone is very patient. No progression towards A has been made whatsoever. No one is fighting for gap. Only now Flit starts to extend at the 1 minute mark.
А хули я всякие соусы жру острые. Сегодня был кетчуп как же он? Шурача.
But Brokey is gonna rotate away. And this B bomb site, it looks like it's gonna be hit, but Flit, perfect distraction. The kills on the A bomb site forces Rain to evacuate momentarily, and it's just so flawless from Fane. He has such acute awareness and dazzles them with his mechanical.
Да прыгай уже туда вниз.
It's important that Flick gets that kill so scaled on A.
Вообще просто щенину, блядь.
A decent time trying to clean up anyway with the lesser weaponry that FaZe have got into this round, but
ну не понос у меня, но жидкий стул, блядь. Не оформленный кал.
Could probably upgrade himself to an AK if VP let him. You can see that Jame is already posted on the angle, but this is 7 rounds out of the first 8 coming in for VP on the T side of Vertigo. It's one-way traffic.
Yeah, FaZe, they are yet to lose a best of 3 on CS2, and that's been one of the more talking points coming into this series. I think a lot of people will very comfortably say they are the best team in CS2 right now. They actually released their Sydney vlog, and it was like, look, motivation, everything's really high. The confidence is even higher because we've won an event like that. However, if they come back to online and lose to Virtus Pro, that could definitely take a tamper with their confidence, and we might have to start having the conversation of, has Virtus Pro just cracked this CS2 nut? And with all these teams and a bit of confusion, this is when we can see them excel, because they're playing perfectly slow, fast plays. They're manipulating other teams perfectly.
I think it's so interesting when you watch Virtus Pro and the
фосфолюгель закидываю и заебись.
style of counter-strike that Jame calls,
Нет, этого
it
хватает.
always remains the same. It doesn't matter what game it is.
Ну я
They're
сколько
still
пил
looking to
времени
apply
тоже.
that brand.
И пил
Everyone has got such a
разное.
high
Я
belief
много чего
in the
пил.
leadership, a belief in the
Вина,
ideas and
коньяки,
philosophies
блядь,
they're bringing to the
пивасы.
table. Nice nade about to be dunked in, but one goes the other way on Broken.
Никто не страханул.
That could have gone. Yeah, that could have gone any either way. Mir
Это такой
forced
убежал.
to evacuate. He has to flee the crime scene. And now VP.
Фосфолюгель нормально.
Structured to just go back towards this B bomb site. So they're gonna hold the brakes a little bit, and they're still gonna maintain that control towards A Brandon.
Я в Хугварде, короче, графон, расширение поставил, текстур на единицу выкрутил, FPS 110. Порядочно, а графика лучше, текстурки. Они широкоформатные стоят, высокого разрешения. А еще я мод ставил, еще я ставил мод. Блять, ну как вы так допускаете вообще, ну чуваки, ну в натуре. Вантус Про, блять. Вантус Про, ну же. Обжигает. Тихо, тихо. Так. Улыбочка. Чиз! Он 95-й. Я поставил мод там, где это... Спина, блядь, сука, дырявая, нахуй. На графику. Поставил на графику, короче.
That's again another example of FaZe losing their space up in towards 51.
И стало 60 FPS, а графон лучше не стал. Мод, где Громиону выебать? Чё, реально ее можно там ебать? Хуэси. Как он называется?
To be honest, with the way the game's gone, should be cruising into a 9th here.
They're gonna be cruising to a lot more than a ninth.
Да чё ж ты прыгаешь, таракашка ебаная? Свои ножки, блядь, подминает. Нахуй он прыгает, блядь. Ты возьми 2 метра назад сделай.
Look at this play. So they're using both the rifles towards A, taking all of that space, because that's where VP have been going the majority of these rounds. But VP start to scale up on this B bomb site.
А здесь вообще никого нет. Это пустая точка, блядь. Эти пересрались там, блядь, пердят. Бля, смотри, блядь. Они тело того террориста, как стервятники, раздирали, наверное. О, блядь. Да не нервничайте, не нервничайте. Все взлетим на воздух.
Fame, lucky to get away with his life, but Rain still dominating, and then Rops, he just jumps around the side. The MP9 creates so much space for his team. That felt like it was done and dusted. Virtus Pro,
чуть-чуть бы поддержали, чуть-чуть бы, блядь.
Coming on the flank, that should have been anticipated, and then Rops with the heroics. That second, you said they should be cruising to a knife, but for now.
Вот этот попрыгун сраный. Им надо было сразу ставить бимбу. Ну да, тут вон опять этого ниндзю пропустили сраную. Минус укуну. А нет, не укуну Мика. Но мне в чатике писали, что там ебаться нельзя.
Some worlds would be if FaZe actually come back and win this. Closing out the series 2-0. cementing the crown on their heads. But we cannot get ahead of ourselves. It's one isolated round. They have to build upon this. They have to get 4 in this half. And Carrigan, that's 3 rounds in a row. He's guarded an opener. They lost one of them. They won the other. However, Carrigan a little bit too over-aggressive. Maybe that is to his downfall.
Не, ну, Virtus.pro, давайте, это понятное дело. Сейчас там смена сторон. Вы за защитку, главное, там, сделайте дела, блин.
It won't be with a kill, but a good tag onto Brokey. It is a 3 versus 4, and James actually gonna downgrade, or in some regards upgrade to an AK and go meet Fame. Look at this, Fame, he just cleared the B bomb side. Rops is
Fama, Fama.
This, but it does not matter. Fame, he's executing anyone that walks into his crosshair right now.
That's so awkward.
Так, так. Каточка набирает оборотики. 9 это прям охуетительно было бы. Ну ты же увидел. О, там в спину еще заходит. Раз.
Knows, I think there's a second one here, but Rain, no way are we gonna see a replication of the last round. James, it's all on him, bombing.
Косое хуйло, блядь! Он просто по жопе не мог ему надавать. Ты чё, ебанутый, блядь? Нахуй он прекратил стрелять, блядь? Я ебу, блядь, это пиздец. Вот, покажите, он там кнопку не дожал, блядь. Осечка, да? А этот рандомно так. Блядь, пиздец. Ну, 9 было бы вообще заебись, блядь.
This time it's not Carrigan, but it's another opener. That's 4 in a row towards the A bomb site, but every single time there has been a quick trade. This time it comes from James. He couldn't get the kill on Brokey last round, and that actually was their downfall. But speaking of Brokey, catches off a lurking Mir. And this round seems like it's going to fall into the hands of FaZe. Carrigan, I'm not a fan of this. He's getting very aggressive. He's got a lot of confidence.
Я не знаю, у них что с пушками, блядь? Почему они так стреляют, нахуй? Не до конца, блядь. Додики ебаные, блядь. Какие же вы дебилы. Дегенеративные хуебесы, блядь.
Cool idea blowing up the smoke, but Brokey, despite him not finding any kills, the fact he's alive for so long enables Twists to be in the power position. Bomb denied, round saved, and FaZe. We spoke about that foundation they could have built themselves up with. They have allowed it, and given the fact that they've won a lot of pistols in this series so far, if they claim this,
yeah, I'm really intrigued to see if they're going to keep up that confidence towards the A bomb site. As I said, that's four entries in a row towards A, because they were just swinging for the gates, and now are they going to swing for the hills over on this T side? Right now, spread quite thinly across the map with Rops in middle and Twist holding towards the B bomb site, just trying to lay some pressure elsewhere and basically do what Virtus.pro does to people on their T side, and ultimately FaZe will be looking to end towards a bomb site, and the aim right now is to draw players away from that part of the map, and so far they've done that very, very well.
We've got Mir in close proximity with Flit to the point where he can
Они
still
такой же
set him up
тактикой
with
занимаются, выжидают, ждут.
With the players in towards
Сейчас
elevator, there are
спецназовцы
rotates
рассосутся.
available for
Ори в чат,
but
что
doesn't
сюда, на
offer up
помощь.
his life. Instead wants to play retake, VP, move forward.
Now, reinforcing this bomb site, Norbert, he's still very aware there could be someone towards middle, and this could play to his benefit. However, as he moves away and makes noise, he's going to be replaced by Fame. What can Rops do on that part of the map? But first, we have to look over this immediate execution of the A bomb site. He's
Да застрелите вы его, блядь!
So far they are. Rops initiating a backstab, but it might not even be needed because look at this. They've broken through. Flick gives them their first frag. The hero of the pistol round, the T side. We were talking about how good FaZe pistols are, and that's exactly what's going to happen right now.
Yeah, well played from FaZe. VP, it's awkward because the idea to flash players forward to take the ramp space feels pretty good. However, the timing is slightly off because you've got FaZe in the ascendancy up towards Gap. You got Rops activating on this lurk. He's the hero that FaZe needed. Mr. Reliable, Mr. Cool. The FaZe will find that fifth. Eco, of course, for VP. Heavy prioritization on this AWP. Now for FaZe, all they're hoping to do is not trip over their own shoelaces, not walk into this
Блять,
stack. And
если
suddenly,
сейчас
the game
въёб,
gets
то
a
минус
lot
64
closer, and
тысячи,
all of
бля,
the
ёб
hard
твою.
work that VP put forward in this first half
Сука, блядь.
becomes undone. It becomes a slightly more asphyxiating. And the pressure, it will be back on them. Because a reminder, they need to win this map.
Storyline we were telling was that this is going to be a 3-mapper, and it's so far going how we'd anticipate. There's going to be a 2-round game. They look very bleak at the beginning, and Rain, you can tell he's sharp with it. They do just run into his crosshairs. He doesn't get the ace, but a very well-played eco round from FaZe. They don't allow anything to go
Ха-ха,
astray.
продавай,
They
бля.
keep 4 alive, and now this gun round, the utmost of importance for both sides, because momentum has firmly shifted in favor of FaZe Clan as they've garnered 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, very streaky, this Vertigo game. Carrigan on the Mac 10, keeping it as well. Might be some faster play in towards mid, perhaps. As all the utility isn't quite here for VP. Something that's been a conversation point all grand final long. Been prioritizing the weaponry on a number of occasions here. Making sure they've got the M4s to hold FaZe at bay. It all comes down to this.
Intrigued to see if Jame and Flit are going to be as aggressive as FaZe were on the A-bomb site. Right now, doesn't seem like it's going to be too much of the case. FaZe poking and prodding towards middle. Seems like they want to set up a B split. But for now, they're just going to fake it out and make Virtus Pro actually very uncomfortable.
Закидывают,
As the
сучки.
bomb comes back towards the A-bomb site, there are only 2 defenders. You can see Mir, he's dumbstruck. He does not want to move. He's stuck in the mud right now towards CT because he's so terrified someone's in middle.
Lights from Flit, though. You're gaining intel. Don't see anything, but now you will. At the second time of asking. Jay.
Но!
being
Но!
affected in towards Gap.
Торгани ебалом своим дырявым.
Again, that is only the Mac 10, the spray,
Пульки
the
где?
trade, it needs to come
Один
in, but it doesn't.
патрон.
Both these players walk away, and now FaZe reset. They want to go B.
Yeah, and Virtus Pro, they've run into this one perfectly. Norbert has eliminated the risk of middle. They're very scared that Rops might
Бля,
be
вот видите, тут
skulking
какая
around.
хуйня. Что они
However,
сразу
Flashing
перетекают и
Rain.
долго
Only
довольно-таки
19 HP
бежать.
is going to be the late factor towards middle, but with 3 players here, I don't think he's even going to get utilized. Virtus Pro looking to crush them down.
Ну
Last
всё,
year,
приготовиться,
propel
блядь.
forward, the smoke giving them some safe passageway into the bomb site, but look at this.
Распределился.
Mir just baited him
Вышел.
perfectly.
Убил.
He's gonna swing onto them, and he just farms them up. Rops eventually does
Зачистка,
trade, and as
блядь.
I was saying, Rain won't even be utilized because everyone dies coming onto that
Хорош,
bomb
Вантус,
site.
Вантус, Вантус,
Now,
Вантус.
it's a little bit more like it for VP.
Yeah, really well played from Flit.
Well
Go and
played,
get
well
that
played.
information to jump sandbags and just have that understanding. It allows Jame in a position to take a kill away from FaZe, and they feel uncomfortable. So they completely adjust on the fly, and they fall into that trap. They
Не,
deviate away
могут,
from what they
могут,
originally
могут,
wanted to
могут,
achieve.
конечно могут.
And therefore,
Нет
you
зверя
get the
сильнее
4
медведя.
players on this B
Вантус
bomb
Про
site.
вперед к
Really
победе.
good mid-round
Мазафака.
Jame. First gun round falls favor to VP.
Yeah, Fame's actually slowed down a lot. He was having a terrific time on those openers. I think he was like 16 and 5 at one stage. Flit equally. If those two can step up, then I'm very scared for FaZe Clan. But no AWP out just yet. And it's an all or nothing purchase.
Всё, гори, гори, ясно. Их там дохуя, кидай туда грену, блядь.
As they produce 5 AKs.
Good combo.
Хоп,
Flash of the
наемный
nade.
убийца.
Blows open the smoke, and then James sets him up for success. Carrigan dealt with.
A taste of his own medicine right there. I was wondering, is Flit going to be as aggressive as Rain and Carrigan? The answer right now is yes. But speaking of Rain, he's found a crack.
Ну
in
вот
this
это
defense.
зря
Now
так
Galactus
открыться, блядь.
swings up, and nails James. Now,
Oh.
this is going to
Давай, 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 давай!
Say bomb site. It is fortified with 3 players. Flit caught out with utility. Mir cannot sustain that first frag, and now Flit
кусты,
is by
блядь,
himself.
забегает.
Norbert dies at the back. 2 versus 2, and Flit deep in enemy lines. They're gonna have to deal with him towards Gap as Fame rotates in from CT.
This is awkward. FaZe are a little bit confined in the bomb site right now. When does Flit activate and where does he go?
Блять, еще
Might
туман
anticipate
сраный.
FaZe might know he's there, and in
Всё,
fact, Broken
пиздец,
is
блядь.
holding. There's a lot of pressure now on towards Fame, a lot of utility to work with. You don't want to pull that out in the 1 versus 2, so he takes the fight initially. We'll smoke the bomb, we'll nade towards Twist to try and disguise that he's not actually picking the bomb. Oh my goodness me, that's so close. Fame, this time he doesn't call the bluff, doesn't do a ROPS, instead takes the fight straight out. Twist claims it.
You can see the anger in Virtus Pro right there.
Если бы он не на...
Opener like this. James
Ну,
caught in no man's land.
не на контроле
Three
был, тот бы
defenders
сдох.
towards this A bomb site, and they're only able to get 2 frags. Fame, this clutch, granted it was very difficult, but he had the opportunity here. Twist excels, and you can see so much frustration now brewing. This was 8-1, if I'm not mistaken. Virtus Pro now are 9-7. They're on a low buy. They've given a gateway for FaZe into this map, and potentially a gateway to claim the trophy, claim the Thunder Pick World Championship, and $250,000.
Really lives and dies on this buy. Because suddenly, if FaZe win this, you certainly anticipate that it's going to be basically a buy one, get one free. They can definitely equalize things. Rob's taking a lot of ground in towards mid. James jiggles. Gets the intel. You can see that Mir is aware now of Rob's presence. Holding directly for him. And we'll find him. 3 players lean early over towards B. And that's exactly where FaZe are looking to hit.
Rops, he shouldn't have been too early.
Его сейчас могли
Now they
подловить.
have no second prong attack phase. They're walking into the meat grinder. Brokey alleviates the pressure. Not just for 1, but for 2. He continues fighting forward, but James.
Пидорасы со своей бомбой, блять, хохляцкой, блять.
Too late. Karrigan, still a lot of HP taken away. No kit.
Как же
Similar
затеряв
to
тут
that
легко,
last
ёб
round.
твою медь,
Virtus Pro,
блять.
Is there a world they just saved this? Mir opens it back up for them, puts it into contention. Twist, 11 HP. We have to identify this, and James coming has a very late lurk. Oh, this is very bold. Bomb, half ticked. He's relying on Flit and Mir. Rain does not miss, but Mir, good trade, and now
На нахуй.
that late lurk, it is so fabulous. I doubted him. However, his teammates bait him in, and Virtus Pro, the round lived and died with them, and they're gonna live.
Блять, так бы уже конец был бы.
Yet again, really well done. FaZe, they try and crack open the opportunities. They give it over. But as soon as James gets the contact on towards Brokey, he's out of there. He knows, okay, I'm just going to try and flank immediately. I rely on the fact that we've still got an influx of players over to be able to try and defend big.
За туристов они быстренько такие хуяк на своих коротких ножичках пробегают, бомбу ставят, распределяются и все. Блять, если бы еще бы прошлую взяли. И позапрошлый. 4 раунда они заруинили себе. Говорю, уже мог быть конец.
This is such an awkward place to be in the game because we're so close to the end for Virtus Pro. If they win this round, I think we can say goodbye to Vertigo. However, FaZe, they've done it before. I've seen them in this position. Tech9s, a Galil. We have to see the individuals rise up. We have to see, and we're gonna have to see it again. Brokey, a lovely
Гулюлом ходит.
rifle. We were showing how powerful he can be without that AWP.
Молодежь.
And now, what can you do with the pistols as Virtus Pro head into another fire of a round?
Think back to those 2 Tech9 rounds that FaZe won on Ancient.
Exactly.
They're no stranger to it.
Опять
Just gonna
прутся.
hit quickly on towards B.
Боевики.
2 players are here. Fame drops utility very early. And you're right, because look, FaZe don't really need to commit into this right away. They can slow things down. Instead, it's doubled. One thrown back from Norbert does all of the damage.
It's a bit panicky for Virtus Pro. However, they did have the right read. It is still going towards his B bomb site. Norbert, lovely utility.
Ой,
placement.
горит-то
It allows
как,
him to
горит-то
evacuate them all.
как!
Karrigan's been spotted like ships in the night. Passes Mir, somehow gets onto Jame, but mitigated by Fame. Bomb still yet to be planted. Twist that
Ой,
one,
блядь,
right into the
новые
server.
куски
It was
говна,
Rocky in the
блядь.
last round, and it's gonna be Twist this round. 2 versus 4. Blitz completely out of the equation. Still over on that A-bomb site.
Куски дерьма заблудились, блядь.
They've done it twice before, and they're gonna add another one to their tally. The Tech Nines, they're so unrelenting. Karrigan making all the space, and Twist capitalizing upon it.
What a game. Yeah, again, we spoke about it in the first half. You can get onto B pretty easily if you've got all the utility. Think about the amount of mollies that FaZe used there to cover up the back pillar, to cover out quad. Flash is thrown forward on towards white box to allow space for Twist to work. You get the rifle in the primary position, and suddenly Virtus Pro get their backs thrown right up against the wall. Has to be a save. FaZe, no, they could potentially hunt this. And more damage done to VP's economy in the long run.
Блядь, стволы понабрали.
This T side, Fame standing strong, Flit tucks in the corner. I think they just about got those rifles out.
That's very important. We were mentioning at the very start of that round how poor the economy was for both sides. And FaZe, they do it with the Tech Nines. Granted, the Galil does a lot of that heavy lifting, but Karrigan, like, they saw him go in the smoke. How were they unexpected that a Tech 9 was going to be in their face? It's going to be an eco. I didn't even know what this buy is from Virtus Pro. This is the L class. They've got the 2 saved rifles. They've bought a FAMAS and MP9, and then Mir's just got a USP. He must have dropped over a rifle potentially to one of his teammates. Is he saving for an AWP? Is Flit doing that? I don't know. It's a very makeshift vibe for Virtus Pro. They are still in the lead. They have that 2-round advantage, and they do have the opener.
Yeah, interesting. A ton of events there for FaZe, because Rops has been able to gather quite a lot of space out mid early. So he says to his team, let me try and work. Instead, it's being held. Karrigan going for a smoke again here. Look at this. He's hit the timing. He's behind all of them here. Oh, this round lives and dies by Karrigan. He goes and now he backstabs A.
Блядь.
And then FaZe, there's a pathway
Сейчас
for them.
спалит спину, блядь.
And he find both of them though. That's the
Вот
issue.
крыса
He's won
ебучая,
enough.
блядь, вы
Game,
посмотрите
back
на
turn,
него.
Trigger discipline. He's trying to search for 2. Coming around the corner. There it is.
Скотина ебаная, скотина ты ебаная, жирная! Сука, блядь! Уебище ебучее, блядь! Жирный пидор, блядь! Жиробас хуев, блядь! Гандон, блядь!
They gotta be scratching their heads thinking, how on earth has Karrigan done this to us? Back-to-back rounds. FaZe bring this bout within 1.
Ой, ёбище, блядь.
It was all in for VP. Yet again they save, and yet again FaZe, they're on the hunt.
It's also 2 rounds in the last 3 where Rops has died pretty much immediately towards middle. I think he's
жирный, блядь, любопытный хуесос, блядь.
Clinging onto this rifle for dear life, no armor. He still is able to assassinate rain from the heavens, able to keep that over. And Virtus Pro, they had money still saved over in that last round. I have no idea what their economy is going to be like, but Karrigan, it's a show of majesty. Just pure mechanical and brain brilliance. Like, he has the knowledge, he has the true discipline, and that's when the experience enables you for success.
2 rifles saved again, which means the VP aren't completely barren. In round 20. Boost up as well, it's been spotted. Rops! How have you seen Norbert there? It doesn't matter, that rifle's gone. Will be scooped up, but Fame has no armor. Early kill this time being found by Rops.
That's a little bit more like it, and that's a big kill to get on the rifler. Fame, though, has got armor, so he's going to be able to retrieve that rifle, and is going to at least be able to...
Жирного уёбни, блядь, этого нахуй. Ой, блядь. Ну, известно ведь все. На!
He did fall down in that 1 versus 2. However, when they need him the most, he's going to excel.
Жирное хуйло живет, блядь.
He's done so much, but he's going to have to do more. James rotated away. Mir rotated away. Both the Royals Rifles still
На, блядь!
What is this from him? Heroics. It's underestimated how good he can be in this server. And it's understated how important
Суки вы ёбаные, блядь.
Rops and Carrigan, though, still keeping themselves in this. This is a massive round to be winning for VP if they do snatch this away.
There's no utility to get Flit out of this position. And it means that the Rifles can just sit in this smoke. They can be a distraction piece. This is really awkward now for FaZe. Carrigan clears the corners alongside Rops.
Стреляйте в друг друга, блядь.
Pistols are starting to push through. And whilst Rops finds one, Carrigan gets eliminated. Rops
О, блядь, ёб твою мать, 7 хп против 12, блядь. Что ты делаешь? Придурок ёбаный, просто мать дура ебаная, блядь. Ковырялка ебучая, блядь, какой... Суки вы ебаные, блядь. Блядь, ну чему... Это просто чмо ебаное. Сколько проебал. Блядь, месяц зарплаты, блядь, проебал нахуй.
They make it even at the final hurdle. This could be just what the doctor ordered.
FaZe doing everything to kind of lose some of these rounds. Like, you're walking into the stack, you've even seen the boost, and yet you're still going for it. You're still pushing in, even though your players are dropping left, right, and center. Yet somehow they hold. Yet somehow it works out. That was just the low buy. That was with 2 rifles. This time, VP, they got the whole lot. They got Jame on the AWP, holding. And his space alone allows Flit to come over and reinforce middle.
This is really nice, though. I love this a lot. Good Molotovs and good util usage from Robs. However, Jame...
Опять сын дерьма просто с ножом. Я не понимаю, зачем они свапают что-то. Ты убил одного, с хуя ты взял, что в этой нычке не будет элементарно, блядь. Кого-то не будет, блядь, еще, ебанашка, блядь.
No, they're not. Norbert can take the contact here as well, and even if he falls, you still got Fame as the safeguard. This is really awkward. 40 seconds left, they're going to activate because of Carrigan's contact. Even though there's a molly, Fame still stands within it. He finds Carrigan, all that space is now lost out.
Суки вы ёбаные, блядь.
One kill back. It's still an awkward round to try and recover here.
Опять я понял все, пизда. Пидорасы вы, блядь. Просто уёбище ёбаные.
But in tandem, Rops and Brokey, ice in the veins, back-to-back clutches for FaZe, and they sail to an 11th.
I don't know what the read is, I don't know what the call is there, but that is the nerves getting to Virtus Pro. Because they completely leave the bomb site. And on the way out, they get picked apart. That is so awkward. And that one misread, suddenly it starts to add up. The domino effect of the nerves spilling forward. Look at this buy. Now that VP have got sure. It's been working out quite well. They've been doing a lot of damage, but it's never been that round conversion. And it needs to happen now because FaZe are on the edge of series point.
I have no idea what this is. You've got an investment across the board. Jame is saving so we can at least have an AWP or a rifle the next.
Пидорасам Вантус Про похуй на фанов, блядь.
And this is not the worst of buys.
Снег в гробу переворачивается нахуй.
Sacrificing his economy for a rifle to give over to someone else? I don't know, this can't feel great if you are Mir, because you are left with a USP and nothing to work with. FaZe with 3 players in middle, first contact, Flit drops, and that's one of the A1S's.
It's really good to see this mid round, and this T side from FaZe have been called beautifully. I think it's all orchestrated off the back of the amount of success that Rops was finding out here in mid. And sure, Mir finally will find that one kill, but an instantaneous trade keeps the player advantage firmly with FaZe. Rops finds one.
Они будто бы не узнают героев.
Norbert trying to hold on here with the 5-7, but all he can do is try and scamper away.
Yeah. The Bloodhounds are out. FaZe. They're hungry for victory. They're looking for blood. They've turned into the predators. Once on Vertigo, they were the prey. Down and out It felt like that third map of Anubis was already in our hands. VP, they have fumbled the bag. And it seems like this second tournament win might not come into their clutches.
8-1 down. 8-1 down for FaZe, and yet they've built back.
Да с ножа его трахай, дебил, блядь.
He gets away with that AK. But they've battled brilliantly, and I think it's just this adjustment in this T side in particular. Just the fact that they've been able to adjust. They recognize the weakness, and Rops has been at the helm of all of it. 24 kills to his name.
This round got a bit dicey. However, Jame was just so far and out the whole time. There was nothing he can do. And as I said, the Bloodhounds, Carrigan, he must be feeling himself right now because he's leading his team to a second CS2 championship. Or out for Jame, saved in the last for this very moment. Is this the end? Or does the grand finals continue?
Jame feels like he needs to take matters into his own hands, and the bullet traces from Rain. Fair play. What an opening kill. Rops again starts to take this space in towards middle. A lot of ground yet again being gathered here for FaZe. This is the main focal point of the attack now that A ramp has been somewhat neutralized.
Сын дерьма не поверил, что там враг с гранатой ходит. Просто конченый филат, блядь. Просто филат ебанутов. Филат ебанько, блядь.
Rops shows his hand towards middle, making it very obvious that he's there because he wants to make Virtus Pro very uncomfortable. He wants to give Twist and Brokey the best chance they can get on the A bomb site. However, Twist missing a Molotov towards sandbags. They are still very terrified that someone could be there. And with 40 seconds left, BP, they seem to be in the right position. There is a possibility. If Norbit does die, they can go towards B. Rops shows he's still here, and I think with 30 seconds, they're going to have to commit towards the A-bomb site, and Rops will be in no means able to help. Jame strikes for the first. He's had such a good round.
Ты долбоячер! Блядь, просто, ну просто, сын дерьма, я не знаю, нахуй они так играют вообще, блядь! Дети уебищ! Я не... Это дети уебищ, блядь! Он берет гранату свою, блядь! Вот, блядь! Ну это же чмо ебаное! Дебил, блядь, это ж дебил, нахуй! Дегенеративная, блядь! Он не успел, блядь, затвор дернуть, поэтому он не выстрелил после гранаты ебачей. Хули ты там жирное уебище пиздишь, блядь? Потник ебаный, пиздит там что-то, блядь. Жабахат, поешь ты, блядь, сука, попозже, подожди ты нахуй. Уебок, блядь.
FaZe, they do have a goodbye. No AWP out for Brokey, and Jame, as he has no contestation, will actually be able to give himself a very deep sight on the A bomb site if he chooses so, and that's been a big reason for BP's success.
That was breaking momentum. That was far for FaZe that they put up that's just been shut down by VP. They need to go back to back.
Вон вот этого Рубзайда ебаного, блядь. Выебать и все, нахуй.
Utility being set up, VP. This is how they worked. A lot of opening kills. Blowing up the smoke, flashing themselves forward. This time, FaZe wait. They are a lot more patient. It's out flashbangs for themselves.
VP, look how scared they are towards the B bomb site. They're putting down so much utility, and it's brought 3 players towards that part of the map. This might have to come down to Mir and Fame. Rain showing that he's towards ramp, spamming towards sandbags, identifies no one's there, and VP, they gotta get a move on. They gotta rotate towards the A-bomb site. Jame will in the nick of time, but here comes utility. James strikes, trying to push them into...
Стреляй, нахуй! Ай-яй-яй!
smoke. Flit though, standing the
Гандоны, блядь!
now in this server. Can't deny
Он
the
топнул!
being backstabbed by Robs, and Robs
Вы чё, блядь?
that pressure, but he's being swung on, and in a blink of an eye, Virtus Pro
Ah!
just to overtime.
Ah!
They just about do it, they get it done, and you got to give a lot of credit there to Flit, who just tucks himself in that corner. He makes himself unknown. All the contact being taken here from Heaven and Elevator allows Flit this wiggle
Блядь,
room,
на допу,
allows
знаете,
him this
сколько там?
space, and yet
7
again,
коэффициент, блядь.
denies
7,
space
сука,
and
7,
space
блядь.
up ramp, the space in the bomb site. VP can then completely
Блядь.
crescendo completely on towards that attack.
Должны
Back to
были,
back,
блядь,
it takes a success
легко
story.
закрывать, нахуй.
And now for Virtus Pro, a chance at a best of 6 to force Anubis.
I never, ever would have imagined we'd be in overtime on this map.
Ну давайте, Вантус Про, да?
And to be honest, at the end, I thought FaZe were going to close it out 13 to 10.
Контртеррорист,
But
блядь.
James, big issue he's been. Same with Flip. And if Fame can find the form, we know he can be. Oh, this could be dangerous. However, look at this fast play. Very similar to what they were doing on the CT side. Karrigan.
Ну террористу въебало, блядь.
Dead. Somehow Jay misses that shot, burning in the Molotov. Is able to retreat.
Пошла
And
мясорубка,
pull the
блядь.
attraction away from Mir. He doubles down. Brokey, a nice trade, but it's a 2 versus 3
Спина,
for
спина
FaZe.
ёбаная, блядь.
Does he anticipate Brokey?
Они не слышат, что этот хуесос тут. Блядь, сейчас вот этого хичкокнет, блядь.
Oh, as Brokey moves away.
Он же
Scott,
зазумил, было слышно
that
ведь.
would have been heard. Flit on a close angle. Brokey
Блядь.
seemingly aware but not ready. For the close pressed face of Flit up against the scope. Rops now left all alone, and whilst he's normally out towards mid this time, he's down at the base of B. Gonna have to be a huge clutch, but the bomb in possession of VP. Utility limited time now starts to become a factor. And with the smoke thrown in his face, first blood certainly looks like it can be drawn from VP.
Yeah. Robs, they know where he is. Smoke. I mean, it's a bold option, but it was the only
Подъебать
option he
вздумал.
had. He disperses the smoke and Flit. Very nicely done. Virtus Pro, they take all the aggression towards that A ramp. It was definitely very messy.
Жирная
There was
ряха
no
пошла
opportunity where
нахуй.
it could have gone awry. However, there was so many different factors and so many different parts of aggression that were being implemented on different occasions. You have 3 different players taking that contact at 3 different times, and FaZe just had no idea what to do with it.
And you got to say, that's a really good call for James to make. Understanding that VP initially didn't really want to fight that aggressively. They were going for the same opening pick, blowing open the smoke, going for the flash play. But FaZe, where they've scaled, VP go, all right, you want to fight? We'll give it to you. Really well worked. Fantastic mid-round call. Now coming out of James. And this makes FaZe just settle back a little bit more. Great
Он
opening.
заебал вот этой вот
Remember,
улыбочкой,
they've been doing
блядь.
that VP
Как
to
ему
try and
так
find the
прилетело?
opening and the intel
Сквозь
all
туман.
game long. Rain finally punishes it.
He's got a very slow T-half, but this is not the round he slows down, doubles down. But FaZe
Возьмите
That's
5
so
пулеметов,
well.
блядь.
will allow James to walk into a position to excel, but Karrigan this time does not lose out that fight. Unfortunately, walked into Norbit's crosshair, though I don't think that really matters because it's still a 2 versus 4. They've still got a mountain to climb, and Rops, he's being so cool and tactical in his mid approach. He is going to reveal his hand, but it makes the rotations from Fame and Norbit ever so.
О, да, да, попробуйте сейвить. Ну ты выглянул! Блять, он же маякнул. Тот как раз взял гранату. Вот эти хуесосы на фульсах, они просто... Они ни разу не появляются, не попадаются со свапом. Один раз, может, там за все время, блядь, было.
As they rotated away through elevator, Rops would have heard that from his position in top middle. So he says to Twist, you can probably take B, but just be mindful that there are players coming in from CT. That's why you see Twist, even though he is clearing angles, heavy priority over towards CT, over towards Guardian, making sure that he can't get caught off guard. And here, Rops is just taking his time, playing it so patiently. And as he's been for FaZe in this map, consistent. P rounds, they are the commodity here on Vertigo. FaZe need at least 2. The fact that VP have already found 1 in this overtime setup, it already begs the question, is that enough?
I think we're going to have to see FaZe taking a second here. I have no idea what momentum is right now. Whoever wins this second will probably win out this overtime. We saw yesterday, though, Virtus Pro, they were fighting every inch of the way versus Monty. They forced it into overtime, forced it into a second overtime. And that's where they claimed the grand final spot. They're going to have to do the exact same thing again. And Rops, I love how he's not even, he's not hiding. He's playing so aggressively towards middle and just making Virtus Pro so uncomfortable.
This is quite a cool smoke as well because it allows him to scale up onto the top of like the white pallets and allow him a little bit of a peek over. But more importantly, he's just keeping all his attention. Look at Norbert, look at Mir. They're worried. And that means that more space can be gathered here. Utility this time not an issue for FaZe either.
No!
They execute up
No!
towards A.
Куда?
Well, it could help. Flashbang back from VP, but Flit can't capitalize off the back of it.
Yeah, Flit was really far away. The flashbang was coming in. I was like, I don't know what Flit can do with this because he's not in a position to
Всё
actually
летит, всё
utilize
кидает,
that flash. And now,
раскидки.
here comes the artillery. Flit alongside Mir. They're just lurking around.
Давай
in
в
smoke.
тумане,
So
блядь.
confusing. The bomb.
Лево глянуть. Раз.
In the back line. The espionage is successful. Drops the bomb. It has to be reclaimed by Karrigan, but he has no idea where Flit is. Somehow finds the kill. Bomb still though yet to be retrieved. Karrigan, what's he doing? He needs to get the
Сука,
bomb.
блядь,
He's still
ослеплённый
fighting.
нахуй.
He's fighting forward. There's no time. They might get the kills, but the bomb, it's been dropped. James was a nail in the coffin, and
Virtus
FaZe,
Pro.
all he has to do is just survive.
Yeah, that's the comms just getting a little bit chaotic there for FaZe, but you're completely right.
Команда
Karrigan
газа.
in the best place position just to grab the bomb, put it on the site. But I like the proactivity. The issue is there's no one else in gap, and Virtus Pro throw enough chaos into this round to completely offset FaZe from the primary objective, placing that C4 on the bomb site, and they get two.
Сейчас им надо
crucial
еще,
rounds
бля.
here in overtime. And where that's been incredibly lacking on the defense, VP, when they need it most, they come up huge.
Вантус Про, туристы.
One more round.
Вантус Про на туристах 9 раундов, а так-то они могли за раз все
Not for the
закрыть.
first time.
Или 7 взяли.
Rops,
9.
aggression in middle.
7.
He's having such a good game. Even that last round hit a lovely shot onto James.
Перестреливается, перестреливается. А, беги нахуй!
You know he's good. He is so lucky to get away with his
Беги нахуй, блядь!
James,
Таракан, блядь.
trying to catch him off, doesn't work. But you know what? No harm, no foul. No kill being conceded over, but space is the luxury that FaZe now have. Missed shot from Brokey.
Спина! Ты чё, дырявая, блядь?
Into the angle. Can't punish. Instead, falls back. This is a really awkward fight. But now FaZe have got mid. What are they going to do with it?
game was actually really good on this angle, and it felt like he was taking so much space away. Now Brokey is going to be in that exact same position. There's a minute left on the clock, and Virtus Pro, they were lining up for an execute. However, the face smoke, that I call it, that's been used by Rain towards the crane.
Туристы, туристы.
A flashbang
Тыщ,
in,
тыщ,
again,
тыщ,
it's
тыщ.
just stopping them, it's halting them, not allowing them any space to work with. And look at this from FaZe. Robs, he's lurked all the way through that B bomb site. FaZe have 4 players here. VP, they're walking into the
Блять,
stack.
они
I
тут...
really like that molly
тут
from
все
Karrigan
вообще.
because it allows Rain that space
Oh,
up
no.
gap, but one goes the other way.
Порывает
Rain's able
очко.
to find it, but remember, you said there's 4 players
Сука,
still on the
блядь.
stack, but they're
На
all
подсосе
getting
жиробас,
here.
сука, только и можешь,
Karrigan
блядь.
finally brings calm, and now Brokey hits essential shots.
Убить!
3-on-2
Обоссан,
time,
блядь.
not on VP's side. But yet again, they make it work.
Выстрел.
Jay understanding that Rops can be in the corner, and he hits the shot. VP up
Хорошо
to the
сыграно, хорошо сыграно!
Thing was in favor of FaZe in that round. Rops taking
А то
all
жирнич,
the
блядь, там
space
это,
and information away from Virtus Pro, allowing for the 4-man stack. And what is this from Mir? The first shot's nice, but the second shot is even cleaner. Brokey, maybe if he'd actually got that first kill onto Flit on Gap, if you can remember about 30 seconds ago, he misses a very crucial shot on Flit. If he hadn't missed that, the round would have been completely different. But now FaZe fighting back into this one. They've done 2 rounds a row before. They need to do it once again on this CT side, or we go to Anubis.
What a journey this has been for Virtus Pro. Potentially can still be closing it out. And it was that T side that was incredibly favorable for them. Missed shot forces Brokey back. That gap smoke has been missing incredibly
Ну,
consistently.
ну.
Taking
Вот этого
Brokey
быдлована,
away.
блядь.
He's
Ты же
already up.
знаешь, где он
This is so
находится.
unexpected. Rain is
Вон
not
там
gonna be ready
потопал,
for it.
блядь.
And he's the only player here at A. If Flit pounces,
Ага. Он
this could be the
пиздит.
end of phase
Филат.
Vertigo.
Flit is just waiting for his teammates though. He doesn't want to do anything too sudden without the possibility of a trade, and that could be to his downfall because he doesn't pounce. It's gonna be too late. Will still find the kill on Rain, but the rotations have come in. He's made that.
Нахуй он так выбежал? Я не понял, блядь. Ну не надо было так...
A left-right punch puts it into a 2 versus 2.
Без пизды, зря они так.
Down and they can't retrieve it. James very acutely aware of Rob's being on the back lines, but he couldn't be any more mistaken.
Улыбочку.
With the bomb attempt to be picked up.
Ну, блядь! Муха ебаная. Ну...
Now it's all down to Mir. Bomb being planted. 1 versus 2. Spots out Twist. Can't get the fight. And with
Дегенераты, блядь.
the new smoke features, Twist keeps us alive.
What a play from FaZe. What a round being won back. And that's all off the back of them not going for these lurks. They go, okay, look, we keep giving over these kills in isolation. So instead, we'll tunnel on the bomb site and we'll fight together. Unfortunate, you mentioned that Flip might have missed the timing. In actual fact, it does work out like that. Robs, this kill here on towards James is absolutely everything. It is surgical from Robs. Allows Twist the opportunity and allows FaZe the chance of potentially double overtime.
Brandon, I've said it. They've done 2 in a row before. They know they have that in their quiver, and they're looking to launch that arrow towards double overtime. Virtus Pro, they'd want to end in regulation, let alone a double overtime. They've had this advantage. It would have been 4 match points in total. Are they really about to drop the ball on 4 different occasions? And right now, FaZe, they're actually anchoring down the B bomb site. Look at this. Were they anticipating a fast play towards B bomb site? Because Robs has been put in a position where him and Twist are bait and switch.
Interesting call, because we've seen on the CT side FaZe that they go for contact plays over towards ramp with Carrigan with Rain. This time they start Brokey over towards there. He gets deep information and says, well, actually, just hold on. Just stand tall over towards B. Double setup does not need to move. This is a complete sell. Rops will not move from this position. It is all on Twist and how much he can find and how much he can sell the idea that Rops isn't behind that pillar.
Twist was magnificent on Ancient. He's been far from it on Vertigo. Only 11 kills.
Блять, Филат где-то напиздюлился, конченый, блять.
No kill though. That was definitely what
Конченый, блять.
Now here comes the attack. Peering their way in, flashbangs go in, Molotov lands.
Ну как он, как оно так стреляет? Знарье ебаное.
We're going to a second overtime. Flit all by himself. He's been the talisman for Virtus Pro, but this is too tall of an order.
And that is Twist at his very best. And you said he's dropped the ball a little bit from Ancient to Vertigo, but right there, when FaZe
Один раунд не смогли взять, уебище.
Absolutely out of this world. And as soon as he takes the contact, Rops accelerates, doesn't hide, doesn't bunker down, wants to fight with his teammate, and allows Twist the space to find those 3 kills. That is expertly done. And now FaZe, they are not done with Vertigo just yet.
I don't know where Twist has pulled that out from. As I said, and I'll stand by it, such a slow Vertigo, but 4 kills, if it was ever going to come out of him, that was the round. Spirits, they have to be shattered for VP. 4 rounds they've had the match point. 2 in regulation, 2 in the first overtime.
У долбоёба минус 92 жизни. Он сам себя взорвал вообще? Как это так?
Things start to get awkward. But VP, they're the team you can never put away. They are the team that will fight tooth and nail, round on round. They will not let this one slip if they can help it. But it would take even more reinvention here out of FaZe. And it started with this gap smoke that Carrigan's been throwing for Rain to creep forward behind it. Understanding, VP think there's a player in towards 51, and there is, but Rain just tucking himself around all these angles. He'll escape in the next few seconds, but for VP, it's their space to try and reclaim.
I really like that Rain doesn't overextend. Like the smoke phase, he doesn't find anyone. He's actually going to drop another for himself, and he's going to try work around that. But instead, he goes for the spam. So he does reveal his position. Virtus Pro, they're leaving Fame to hold on those back lines. The player, they got tagged down early, and they might look to pop onto this A-bomb side. But Brokey, this nade could do a whole host of damage. And with an exact identical setup to the last, they've got 2 players remaining towards the B-bomb side, but it's Karrigan. They dodged from a grenade.
Бля, они же нормально за терроров играли ведь.
What is that? He gets the dink down on Mir, and with the final 2 bullets, is able to eliminate James. Karrigan, in so many of these clutch moments, not the person you'd anticipate to be the firing.
Их, может, инопланетяне похитили? Другого объяснения просто нету.
They go to 16, and they claim the first round in the second overtime.
And what you got to talk about here is the differences between FaZe's T side and Virtus Pro's T side. A lot of extremity work from Virtus Pro. How many times have they been in middle? How many times have they been causing a threat towards the guts of the map? They haven't. And what does that mean? Brokey could come over and set up this hot flash that's secretly a grenade. The Karrigan to work and also have Rain in close proximity. Really good call here out of Karrigan, understanding that VP have not been contesting middle, so let's put our forces over towards A and fight for that extremity. VP blindsided, a sucker punch delivered by FaZe.
Good communication as well. A lot of teams would have got those first 2 kills and backed away. Karrigan goes, no, you're joining me. We're going for this. We're going for this fight. And I think you've highlighted it perfectly. Rops was being such a nuisance in middle. They could never deal with him. I think there was only 2 rounds they did. And now, what is this from Rob?
Два долбоеба просто сдохло.
He just pushes in. Wait, what? He pushed into T-spawn. Look at where he got those kills. They were literally on the steps that come out of T-spawn. That's an insane advantage. And FaZe, surely they hold on to this one.
Yeah, they really understand what's going on here. And once they use that space to
Кирилл слышал, что Огр ходил к врачу, ходил с ногой. Сказали, что о итоге будут отрезать данную Хамонову, так сказать, ногу. Пожалуйста, купи братишке на ногу гайчички.
Delivers on his promise for FaZe Clan in the second. Rain tucked up towards sandbags. There's a couple of mollies that can displace him. But for FaZe, they've got a fantastic opportunity to put this round to bed.
And Rops, he might even go for it again, and he is.
Опять этот крысанюк, блядь. Я не знаю, его никто там не сейвит, ничего вообще, блядь. Им похуй.
Still a very difficult round to work with. It's a 2 versus 4, and look at how close Rops is. Rain can just hide and simmer in that smoke. Everyone's coming forward.
Кардиган ебучий, блядь.
Do they know about Rops? That's the very key detail, and they just peek into Karrigan. Bomb planted
Уёбки, блядь. Если бы они бы... 2 уебана бы не сдохло. Если бы 2 уёбища не сдохло бы.
And is somehow able to identify Twist, but Rops is way too far from him. And FaZe, this is a lot more like it. They're Titans of CS2, and right now they're proving it. In the second overtime.
Look at this.
That's sensational. Who does that? Rops does it. He's cool by name, cool by nature.
Ridiculous. Fair play for Flit to make this one even look scary. You can never count ridiculous. VP out of a round, but it's FaZe with the 3-2-1. It's the instantaneous trade spacing, and it's them now with the momentum, which has been.
Ну, если эти уебища сейчас.
Talks about aggressive plays. This time it's not coming in from mid, it's coming in from A ramp. Karrigan's let Flit walk straight past him.
Эту территорию нахуй проверять, ну все, пизда. Все, уёбки въебали.
That is magnificent. Karrigan leaping into the unknown, leaping into the fold. He even gets away with his life. Rain, perfect coverage, a grenade, a kill, further damage, and they're not done. However, they probably should have been, because that over-aggression is going to be their downfall. Yes, Virtus Pro have no HP. Karrigan's on 14 as well. And it's a 3 versus 3. FaZe, maybe they shouldn't have peeked in again. Maybe Rops should have played tactical like he's been doing so. And Virtus Pro, foot on the brakes. They need this round. If they want to survive in this grand finals, this has to go their way.
And it's these types of scenarios in which VP do their best work. That molly completely isolates Karrigan, and that flashbang full blinds him, but the spray he holds, and he still finds Fame regardless. Has to look the other way. Jame will finally trade him. It's a 2-on-2 now, and with 30 seconds left, they can drop the utility. Will they commit in towards the bomb site? It looks like it will be. Twists over the top of the smoke. Can't find purchase. Instead, will allow VP the luxury of the plant.
Norbert has also kept a Molotov and a flashbang, so the flashbang sails in. It's just going to stamper them a little bit more. Molotov, how's this going to be utilized? There is a smoke for the bomb. Does Brokey put that elsewhere, though, before they get to that bomb site? There is kits on 2 individuals. Flash goes out for FaZe Clan. Norbert, 6 HP. He needs to be very careful. Smoke on the bomb, so the Molotov can't affect that. James tapping away, baiting in for Norbert, but now it has to be Norbert. James dropped. Bomb being defused. No one's holding gap. Norbert holds a spray and he succeeds. That's it. Twist has no time. And Norbert with 6 HP clutches up. And that one round can
По жопе кардигану, блядь.
Awkward moment. You see the AWP firing off from ramp and the rifle's not continuing. From FaZe, they think, well, maybe there's both players out here towards ramp. We'll try and bait them in the open. A tap on the bomb, another one.
Летим,
But it's
пердим.
not quite. And we said in those positions where Virtus.pro are in the 3 versus 3, where FaZe have overextended, allowed Fame the opportunity to find those 2 kills. They can always work their way back into a round. Nice shot from Brokey. But ultimately, it's Norbert that is the most patient on the server. One round is so crucial here on the T side for VP.
Блядь.
Norbert, very similar to Twist. Bit of a drop-off going into this map. However, if he's coming up like that, similar to what Twist was like in that first overtime, then we can't bat an eyelid. Virtus.pro. Again, I'm interested. What's the aggression going to be like? Carrigan and Rain tormenting them on their CT side. Is Flit and Jame going to be similar? It's going to be a very slow start this round. We haven't seen just a rush, Brandon. We haven't seen one team just bound towards a bomb site yet.
You can imagine that will probably come out in a couple. I really like this smoke the Virtus.pro have been throwing. Just to completely contain
Крыса ебучая, блядь.
If they want to go for a peek, it has to be from behind scaffolding. There's incendiaries that can be put down on that position. Or nades that can land here. More damage on towards Carrigan, who understands that he actually has to waste the smoke. And that allows VP a little bit more room. Fame searching towards stairs. FaZe want to commit towards B.
Good flashbang though, and Rops falls.
На, блядь!
Carrigan tries to make some space with this pandemonium. However, there's still 3 players there, and Carrigan just walks into their crosshairs. Rain trying to do what Rops does best, and he will get the first. Good trade though by Flit. They know about Fame, and the fact that he's staying alive.
Не
is
надо,
so
не
long,
маячь.
so impactful. A smoke comes in to give him some sort of coverage. And I feel like for Twist and Brokey, this could be too tall of an order. And especially with Twist being spammed.
Ну все, готовь очко, блядь.
By himself, peering his ugly head up, rears it.
С ножа его нахуй, с ножа, блядь, его с ножа резать.
Fortunately, that's it for Virtus.pro. They'll find 17 and they even up the scoreline.
Yeah, nice. That was very proactive out of VP. Something we've not really seen on their CT side. They led a lot with utility. They isolated Carrigan in the corner. And by him forcing the smoke, that gives the indication to both Fame and Mir, well, actually, we can take the fight on towards stairs. We don't need to worry about being exposed from that left-hand side. And if Carrigan tries one of these smoke plays that, hey, worked wonders in regulation, we're holding and we're making sure that we don't get punished yet again. Very calculated round out of VP.
Пауза.
Yeah, that's a lot more like it. The rotations were so sharp and clinical. And the fact they were still able to trade out really effectively onto Rain and who came through middle, that could have been a real worry for them. He gets the kill on Norbert, but that's all he'll find. 17-17. Brandon, is there a chance we find a third overtime? Is that really about to happen right now? This game is pulling everything out. Map 1 puts the limit. And map 2, oh, this is a test. A test of endurance. And at potentially the worst time. We're going to have some issues. Player side, we're going to have to wait a few seconds before we get
Бля,
back
ну
into
я
this one. Brandon,
предположить не
I
мог,
don't
что
like asking questions, but
тут могут быть
what
допы
can they
в этом.
do?
Вертига,
FaZe
блядь, у
Clan,
них.
I was talking
На
about that
Анубисе
fast
я
play.
еще
Do they just rush B? Like,
склонен
is
к
that what they
этому.
do? Do they just pop onto that B bomb site?
I don't think so. I mean, you can maybe as a desperation play, but you got to think about that round. There was one key factor. There's one source of information that FaZe learned. And it was that Rain was able to yet again get out mid, get up over construction, and the first point of contact was being taken from him in towards CT, in towards B. VP are leaving mid open. And they're still leaving it open. It's always a question mark. I think that's why Rops went over towards B. Just in case they wanted to reinforce mid with more players, you keep Rops alive by having him over towards that B bomb site. But instead, yet again, VP weren't really holding it. They weren't really kind of worried about it. And as a result, I feel like FaZe will think that they can have more purchase. They can have more space in the mid-round to really occupy themselves. Carrigan takes a seat. I think that means that we're going to conclude this tech pause, and we're going to get straight back into the action. Sure, you can run it up towards a bomb site very fast. However, we've not seen that once all game long. Is that a pocket play, or is it just these two teams respecting each other and understanding that these crossfires, their bomb plant setups, are actually playing really well?
Do they just fall back on their fundamentals, what they were doing so well? Because I think a lot of their success came from Rops, as you were saying. So as much as I'd love a gimmicky play and a pocket strat to come out, maybe you are correct. Just going back to what they know. And unfortunately there, with not enough presence towards the A bomb site, it was a fairly orchestrated play towards E, and that was very well anticipated. Where does this technical pause, this must have so much influence on the game, because it's been 5 minutes or so where everyone's just had to stay still. And now, as we go into it, do we see a third overtime? Do we see FaZe crown themselves? Or do Virtus Pro push us to Anubis?
Tell you what could work. You talk about fast plays. You could go fast mid to B as well.
Yeah.
That could be something in the back of FaZe's mind. Instead, it's a lot more of an orchestrated default, players holding for pushes. However, that's not the Virtus Pro way of playing. They're not going to take the fight to you. You have to come into their domain.
But in the meantime, while you were mentioning that, James has used barely any utility and has taken full control of a bomb site. He is going to be tested a little bit, but if he's able to swing out and actually take that control, it will give so much leverage in favor of Virtus Pro. But Fame, scared they're going to pop onto him again. We saw this a little bit already, where Fame was being a little bit nervy towards that B bomb site, dropping util very early on. Are FaZe going to exploit that?
Опять этот ебальник торговец.
Oh, I like this. This good control being taken, because James now has a full sight line down towards the bomb site.
And it just means that these players can still remain here on B.
Bit bad though, because James, he's called his teammates to rotate away, but FaZe, look at these rotations. Flit, the closest player, is in middle, over towards the B bomb site. James, if he falls here, what, he gets the collateral, he misses the first shot. I thought he was down and out. This round should already be over. They should be on the A bomb site. Because he was able to get that collateral, it's made it so much more winnable for this over-rotated Virtus Pro side.
Yes, James time, just not in the way that you expect. Big nades. Now fall forward towards sandbags. They've got all the room here, VP, to work with bomb.
Обоссать.
Try and even be planted. And as the digits, they get punched in from Rops. It's still uncomfortable. Mir might even force the issue.
Mir forces the issue, but Brokey sends it right back to him. No util across the board now. Smokes still in play, giving Twist some coverage. Unfortunately, will not be enough. And Rops now lurking around these smokes on default, catches Norbert off guard. Brokey in tandem, strikes Fame down. Flit, a 1 versus 2. He has to be claiming this. Out in the open, exposes himself with the orb, crashes to the ground as FaZe Clan, they reach for the stars, they reach for the sky and claim 18. The first time this whole map, they've actually had that match point.
And that's even with James finding the collateral here. And that's with Virtus Pro being able to rotate back in, but these dynamic AWP plays from Brokey. Look at every single one of these replays. Look at his reposition. He's been so mobile with this AWP. He's taking all of the engagements on his terms. And most importantly, he's keeping Rops alive in the middle of that bomb site so that he can be that unknown element. He can be that X factor that FaZe Clan need just in case the AWP misses a shot and will fall by the wayside. Pressure on yet again for VP. They forced OT out of regulation and now they need to force a third here.
This could be it. This could be our final dance. A tournament that spanned 4 qualifiers in 2 different
Сейчас если
continents.
19-17
2 week-long group stage and playoffs is all coming to an end here. Or will Virtus.pro continue forward and drive us even further? FaZe vying for 19. Looking to do it out of middle. Mir and Norbert in tandem strike, but a nice trade from Twist. Yes, they've lost their talisman in middle, and Twist got to be very careful because Fire is hot, and he's confirmed that. However, because he's gone so far out of that Molotov, they don't anticipate him to be so close as he is. But what if they
Ну хули ты топник, блядь?
Okay, Grand,
Филат дегенерат ебаный, блядь! Тупое хуйло, блядь!
Two players in very aggressive positions, and now both of them are looking to strike. Fame still wary of Karrigan, and he will.
Блядь, тупой уебок нахуй. Ну он пробежал, блядь, вон это тоже.
Position do him justice it does. Mir falls the wayside. It all is called upon Fame and Jame rotating from that B-bomb side. Brokey has James' number. Fame coming from elevators, spots out Rain. But what can he get done here? Walks into Brokey's crosshair, and that's it. They've done it.
Ай, мать ебал, блядь. Пидорасы, блядь. Ладно. I'll be back. Пойду депну 20 тысяч.